The hard part is getting artists to understand, like, yo, like, there's a harsh reality of when to give the fuck up, right? Because this shit is not like, I think in the last analogy I used for this is like, it's like professional sports, right? Everybody can't go to the NBA. Everybody can't go to the NFL, but they do have a league in China. They do got a league in Puerto Rico. Like, there's other leagues that you can go be a part of and be very successful. You just got to make that decision to be like, okay, let me be real with myself. I'm not gonna be Drake, but I can go be fucking Larry June. I can go be Key. I can go be like these other tiers of artists that I can go become and be very successful in my own right.
Or I can go be Rico Love
and be very successful
and
in my own right.
And be a writer. You know, it's so many different avenues, but it's a heartbreak attached to that when the world have to make that decision for you.
Because the thing is that people always say you're shitting on my dream, or you're trying to like make me, you're trying to detour me from my dream. It's like, no, there's a difference between dreams and delusion.
We gonna talk bigs on this one here. You know what I'm talking about? Big. Fuck this, man. I heard investment make the Forbes list. Amazon, the Rock Nation made investments themselves. Go buy the building, don't be worried about the door split. Even if the mission get hard, you can't avoid it. You see me getting money, well, I'm just expressing myself. It's harder building on your own, you always welcome to help. Build a mastermind group works in Napoleon Hill. You know.
All right, guys, we back in again for another episode of Change Agents. My name is Caleb.
I'm Trav.
You know what I'm saying? And today, man, we got JuJu, man. How you feeling, bro?
Blessed, man. Blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, man.
Hey, bro, I believe in hospitality to the 19th power. But you just said LeBron is better than Kobe, and I can't let it go.
Absolutely.
I needed to be on camera.
LeBron, then Kobe, then Jordan.
How old are you?
31.
I kind of like Kobe over Jordan. I can't even lie. What's your reasoning for
I'm
that?
more cool with that than this shit he's saying.
What's your reasoning for like?
And he from North Carolina.
LeBron has single-handedly made, no, correct. But LeBron has single-handedly made players around him much better.
LeBron has made star players 100 times worse and made role players look better.
Bro.
Hold on. Think about what I just said.
Okay.
I said LeBron has made star players worse and made...
He gave Kyrie his first ring.
That don't mean you made him better.
He definitely made Kyrie a better point guard.
Did he make no, he didn't. He made
Kyrie.
No,
Kyrie
he made
him a better point guard.
That's because Kyrie need a wing right now. But he made Kyrie not be a point guard. That's completely different. Oh, you talking to a basketball player.
He made him score.
He gave him.
He opened his game. You're right.
He took him off the ball.
Tell me how many people Jordan.
You just say
tell me how many people Jordan elevated their game to make them a
Scottie Pippen.
Man, get the fuck on, man. Scottie Pippen fighting for his life right now. He giving away 50%.
We talking
retirement.
about
Shout out Larson.
we talking about basketball. Like Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
All these players will get to do all this other stuff that no dog. And on top of that, how many people did he stop from ever getting a ring?
Yeah.
LeBron?
No, Jordan. Everybody got a ring on LeBron.
Everybody got one on. Jordan left to go play baseball because niggas started wanting to get rings.
No, Jordan,
on top of other things.
Jordan left after a three-peat, came back and did a three-peat. Let's not. How you from North Carolina, bro? How you
Cap.
What's your name?
The cap.
I'm trash, bro. But we gonna get into the episode, but y'all know how I am about basketball.
Fan.
Y'all know how I am about basketball. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, shit. LeBron would make star players so bad that they would change his whole team at the trade deadline every year.
This man crazy. We take no LeBron slander on this
I love
podcast.
LeBron, bro. I got probably as many LeBrons as you got. I just believe in telling the truth and not being a sucker to the branding. LeBron is the best role model and brander this game has ever seen.
Which ultimately makes him one of the best basketball players too.
Oh, he's one of the best.
It's transitioned to him being the greatest.
He's one of the best.
If not the great. Okay.
He ain't top 5 to me.
Okay. He's top 5, but he's top 5 to you?
No, he's not top 5.
Who's the number one scorer?
Number one scorer. So what? Is
Kareem
Kareem in your top 5? Y'all want to
to
use this shit. Is Kareem in your top 5?
We're not going to go here.
Is Kareem in your top 10?
Absolutely.
You're a motherfucker. I love this shit.
Absolutely.
I love this shit. Tell the people, bro.
I'm not going through my top 10. We're not going to do that.
Caleb, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. Top 5. I'm gonna give you my top 5.
In order or?
In order. I don't do that.
Okay, in order.
Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
Magic, Elijah Warren, Shaq.
This nigga's on drugs.
Elijah Wan and Shaq?
LeBron didn't even make the top. This nigga's crazy.
He not even 6.
This nigga is
LeBron is
crazy.
8. LeBron is 8 for me. And I got
8.
And I got a reason for my madness. And this could be it's a style make fights, right?
Who's 6 and 7?
Larry Bird is 6.
Okay.
Oh, nah.
Okay.
Okay. This is malarkey.
Larry Bird, bro.
Larry Bird is 6.
This is blasphemy. You
Hold
put
on. Larry Bird is 6. Tim Duncan is 7.
Timmy, okay.
Tim Duncan.
Iverson is 8.
This is the greatest power forward of all time.
Iverson is 8. LeBron is 9. And KG is 10. That's my top 10.
KG?
Everybody on this list except for LeBron
Yeah.
had to make the shots. Nothing else mattered.
LeBron James.
It's certain players who are game changers, and it's certain players who are good in a spot. That's why when they go to other teams, they don't have the same significance. Iggy left, and he
won
wasn't the same. He left Golden State, wasn't the same player, and came back to Golden State.
And won more championships.
He didn't win when he was gone. So what I'm saying is, he's not a game changer by himself. He's a good piece. That's not a great player. A great player is a great player everywhere you go.
Okay.
That's not true. You're a great businessman. You're a great A&R, great manager, right?
Okay.
You put you with any good artist, you're gonna be you. You put you with a bad artist, you're gonna be you, right?
It's two different.
It's not.
Two totally. It's a way different approach.
It's not.
Iggy is a great. Put it this way. Shout out to Iggy. If you ever see this,
shout out Iggy, man.
Iggy, you're a great. I think you're a great defender. He took you over Shea Betty.
I said Iggy's a great defender. He's not a great two-way player.
Iggy,
I mean,
for the
he
record,
hit the shot.
I want you to come.
Did he say great players hit the shot?
Iggy, I want you to come out and change it. So,
Did he say
you know
great
what I'm
players hit the shot?
I love
Did he
Andre
hit the
Iguodala.
shot?
Yeah.
What Andre Iguodala went to school at?
Did he hit the shot?
Shut up. I'm just showing I know Andre Iguodala, bro. I remember the Andre Iguodala and Kyle Korver days. When I'm begging them niggas to get out. I'm there with Iverson when he had Andre Iguodala early, and he was begging. They was
Tony
begging this
Savage.
nigga to be better. He a good player, bro. Certain players are good players. Shane Battier was a great player who, in the later
What's our
stage,
next topic? This man is crazy.
Bro, hey.
This
So,
was great.
just
You told me
to
LeBron James out his top 10. I'm
Just to shift gears here, man. Ju,
let's
just
get
like
to real shit now. We can cut all this.
Tell
he
me.
from North Carolina. Fucking Duke fan.
I'm from Georgia.
Fucking Duke fan.
I'm from Georgia.
You from Georgia? You a Duke fan? You got dropped out the crib.
Bro, I worked
They
at
dropped
Duke.
your ass.
I worked at Duke. My mama worked at Duke. Like, I grew up at Duke.
Damn shame.
Ju, what's your background, bro? Like, what's your story? Like, how do you kind of get to in this seat?
I am from North Carolina originally.
Okay.
Moved to Georgia when I was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Well, I moved to Georgia twice. I moved back to North Carolina, then moved back to Georgia in 9th grade. Went to high school here. Went to college. Went to Morehouse here.
Shout out to Morehouse.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Shout out to Morehouse.
Shout out Morehouse.
Had some good years there. Left Morehouse, went to Georgia State for a semester, dropped out, and started working in music.
How did? What year was that? First, I don't want to date you, but
I actually went to Morehouse on football scholarship. I went in 2010.
Y'all got me arguing.
I graduated in
basketball with
20
football. That was messing with
Yeah, I graduated in 2010. Went to Morehouse football, played football. Broke my ankle. Didn't really want to play football no more. Like that. Shout out HBCUs, but our staff is not the
It's
same.
not the same.
Yeah, so like that whole rehab process was different. So
And you realized all the shit that you was missing when you was at practice.
yeah, like you had practice during homecoming. They out there having a fucking concert. You like, hey look, coach. I ain't gonna to you, man.
Right.
My ankle still hurt.
Like, try to wrap this shit up, man.
Yeah. That's
Then
crazy.
you got 5 a.m. practice. I'm missing fried chicken Wednesday because I'm at practice. I'm trying to go to fried
Man.
chicken Wednesday, have a good time. I'm trying to go to Hump Wednesday.
But like, really, as a student athlete, you really don't have a life. Now, people don't really realize that, but you
That's a
really
job.
don't. It's a job.
That's why I'm glad athletes are getting paid. That shit is a job.
Yeah.
And you was there with, I know a couple people who played football for Morehouse around that time. Justin Pride played at
Yeah,
that
Pride's my
time.
dog.
Carlos King.
I know all those guys.
I'm from Albany. So Pride from Albany, Carlos King from Albany, Brandon Morgan from
Yep.
Albany. Which college played around that time too? Denzel's son.
No, he he was part of my recruiting visit. He left the year before me.
So
he
it
was
was like 09?
Yeah, 09.
Yeah. I'm 06, so that's like that 4-year
Gotcha.
block for us.
Gotcha.
Word.
Yeah, he was one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was going to UNC. I was gonna go to UNC. Like I had my mind set. I went to homecoming. Did my visit during homecoming. And that weekend, from that Thursday to that Sunday. So yeah, y'all got me, bro. Whatever
It's
I got.
over with.
Hey, coach, let me know. I ain't never seen nothing like this. What we doing?
And that's interesting to me because spending a lot of time in North Carolina, I know about G-Ho. Like, I know about Shaw and St. Aug.
Shaw offered me a scholarship.
And A&T and all of these. What made you leave all of those HBCUs for this one that you thought you couldn't get?
I mean, because so I got into every school I wanted to go to. I got into like that. Getting into school was an issue. Like I got into schools that I can't even like, because I graduated with a 3.8 in high school, and I was an athlete, and I was one of the top running backs coming out of Georgia. So like I had options, but when I looked at Shaw. Initially, I didn't even know if I wanted to go to HBCU. It was more so like I want to go anywhere. I want to play football. I want to play. But then it got to a point where I was like, towards the end of my senior year of high school, and I was making a decision to go to college. I was like, man, I don't want to go pro. I just want to, I kind of want to experience life and see what life is about. And then understanding too, like thinking about what you want to do after this. Because I knew if it wasn't for music, I would have been working in sports. I've been doing something in sports because I managed, majored in sociology and minored in marketing. So I was like, I'm gonna use this, and I thought about doing law school to go be working sports management, a sports agent, in some form of fashion. But I was like, I don't want to go pro. So if I don't want to go pro, let me find the best environment that I can go sit in and be like, I'm gonna enjoy this.
I'm close enough.
Yeah, I can enjoy this. So like, when I went to, like I said, I went out to Chapel Hill. Mind you, that's been my dream. I'm like, I can't see myself sitting here for 4 years. I can't do it. I went out to.
I ain't gonna lie. The lifestyle, the campus life don't look the way it looked at the AUC.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I went to the AUC. Like, bro, that's when Peaches was Queen City at the time. It took me to Queen City. Took me to a Delta party. Took me to
Gotcha.
Market Friday. To see that many women, like I saw the bus pull up from Bennett College with all the girls that hopped off from Bennett College.
Hey man,
can you imagine 4 tour buses of nothing but women?
I want to shout out Bennett College, but I got some women in my life that I love that would dispel me. So I'm gonna
They love Bennett College. That's their sister school.
Yeah, shout out Bennett College.
Bennett College is technically Morehouse's sister school.
They be beefing.
That's what a lot of people don't know. That's actually our sister school.
The Spelman girls be beefing.
Yeah, hey, during homecoming week, it's dog eat dog world.
So like when it comes to like management and stuff, like what was like that early journey for you like?
I was managing one of my friends. He was like, it was funny because I didn't know if I wanted to do management, but at the time he was moving around and he was like, yeah, I want to start this music stuff, and he was like, I need a manager, and I just so happened to know so many people, and I'm great at having conversation, so he was like, yo, you should
Except about basketball.
Except about, I like to talk about real shit, man.
Talk to me, Ju.
I'm gonna throw shots out.
This brother is on hair wrong. Dog food. He's crazy. He made it. He had a Brandon Miller comment. He had a Brandon Miller comment talking about Paul George is his goat. You and Brandon Miller are friends, huh? I see.
He just needed vitamins. He'll be all right.
Paul George,
insane. Paul George is no shade. Paul George is not even in the top 20.
Right.
No shade.
top
30. 50.
I'm with you. We agree there. We found an agreement.
We being honest, like.
Nah, Paul George ain't it.
So who was the artist?
I ain't gonna drop no names like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but I was managing artists. Well, at the time we didn't even know what management was, cause even now when I think about it, like I wasn't really managing. We were really partners. Like he was like, yo, let's. I gotta go to the studio, so I would put up money with him to go to the studio. And that's a partnership.
Ty Mays said managers do not put up money.
You ain't supposed to put up no money like that.
Because at that
point, we're profit sharing. Like, because if I'm putting up my bread to help do what you're doing, that means we're partners in whatever venture we're doing.
Right.
But like when you're that young, you're just trying to figure it out. Like I was just like, we were just hungry trying to figure this shit out. So I'll put up $200-$300 for a show.
That's crazy.
To go to South. Put our money together to rent a van to go to South by. Get one
nah.
hotel room, 6 niggas sleeping in the.
Hell no, no. He
Like-
got to give me half for whatever he
that.
make.
But like we
Talk
didn't-
about I'm a managed artist. Talk about that conversation of, nah, bro, we 50-50 in this once it start working. Sometimes
So
that's
the problem is you only have that conversation when it starts working. That's the issue. So if it never starts working, what happens? So like it's funny because I just had a conversation with my homie the other day about artists having to understand when to give this shit up. Like when you got to make the pivot to say like, bro, maybe I need to go get a job. Maybe I need to go find a career that I'm suitable for. Because like everybody's not meant to be an artist. Everybody's not meant.
bro.
Everybody doesn't have the star mentality. Everybody doesn't have the it factor. And so it's like.
or maybe I need to go be a label rep, or maybe I need
like
to
you
go
can
do
go be
something
creative.
else.
You can be a creative director. You can go be you can shoot videos. You can. There's 1,000 things you can do in this industry. But everybody wants to be that one person, that one star, and it's like everybody's not meant to do that.
Yeah.
So I think like I didn't even like. What's crazy is I think I learned the most from that situation because I stayed around for like 6.5, 7 years. I'm not making no money.
Right.
Right. So you don't make no money that long. You learn how to hustle. You learn how to figure out ways to generate revenue because you got to make bread. You got to still
Gotta
live.
eat.
Yeah. So like, I think eventually I got to a point where I was like, yo, like it's time to make a transition, and I made a transition, and my life literally went a whole 360, a different direction, and to where I was like, that's when I really start getting into managing producers and working in publishing and understanding the other avenues that you can make money. So. I think the hard part is getting artists to understand, like, yo, like, there's a harsh reality of when to give the fuck up, right? Because this shit is not like, I think in the last analogy I used for this, it's like professional sports, right? Everybody can't go to the NBA. Everybody can't go to the NFL. But they do have a league in China. They do got a league in Puerto Rico. Like, there's other leagues that you can go be a part of and be very successful. You just got to make that decision to be like, okay, let me be real with myself. I'm not going to be Drake, but I can go be fucking Larry June. I can go be Key. I can go be like these other tiers of artists that I can go become and be very successful in my own
Or
right.
I can go be Rico Love
And be very successful in
and
my own
write
right.
and be a writer. You know, it's so many different avenues, but it's a heartbreak attached to that when the world have to make that decision for you.
Because the thing is that people always say you're shitting on my dream or you're trying to like make me, you're trying to detour me from my dream. It's like, no, there's a difference between dreams and delusion.
Right.
And dreams and delusion, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. Like it takes a crazy like music, especially entertainment. I would say music in particular because it's not all entertainment. Music in particular is one of the only spaces where you don't have a union. You don't have like there's no like stable income if you don't have a in the office job.
There's no rules to this shit.
And
There's no
rules.
guidelines.
Yeah.
There's no
Wild,
nothing.
wild
No
west.
structure. It's just free fall.
Yeah, and it's so
Whatever goes,
But
goes.
the crazy part is like the crazy thing is it's only like that outside the offices. Like if you're
Yeah.
outside the buildings, that's when it's like that. Like if
Yeah.
you're your own doing this shit by yourself,
Yeah.
there's no rules to it. It's like, bro, like you eat what you kill. If you get the one commission check in Q1,
Yep.
you might not see another check in Q4. And you got to make that Q1 stretch. You got to go make a couple plays on the
And
side.
that depends on if you ASCAP or BMI.
So, but even then, like you might get a check in Q1 from you might have signed a pub deal, right? And that pub deal, like artists understand, like let's say you sign $300,000 pub deal, for instance, right? You give away 300, you get 300,000. You got to pay your attorney, you got to pay your manager, you got to pay your taxes. Like so by the time you actually get the bag,
And you gotta pay your agent. That's on top of paying.
Let's say they don't have an agent, right? Let's say they just got the bare necessities, right? That's the bare necessities. So manager, attorney, and taxes. Let's just say those three things, right? Out of that 300,000, they probably gonna walk away with 150,000,
If they
if
lucky.
that.
If they lucky.
If that. And that's being very, very generous. If like that's if they have done everything properly, didn't have
Knew a lawyer.
didn't owe nobody.
Yep.
Like, cause mind you, they probably took out some loans. They probably owed somebody for it. This man paid my rent for 3 months. This person did that. Mama need that. So they might have walked away with 150K. So let's be honest. Let's say they made that 150K, but then they signed to a label or they signed a royalty deal where they're not gonna get their bread for a while. They gotta make that 150K stretch if they ain't doing no shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, how long does $150,000 really last? So if you put that shit in perspective,
And you gotta look like a rapper.
And he got what? So that's the thing too.
Yeah.
That's why I said
image is everything. So
But it's only
Yeah.
everything if that's what you
If that's what you sell.
if that's the
Facts.
brand that you
Facts.
establish.
Facts.
So it's like artists now are so caught up in that whole idea of selling the image or selling X, Y, and Z that they don't understand. Like if you only make 150,000, bro, you got to make that shit. You might not see another bag for another 4 months unless you're doing shows. And even if you're doing shows, okay, unless you're hard, unless you're going on tour or you're doing like a walkthroughs. But even in walkthroughs, like that shit don't last that long. How long is your
And-
song gonna be hot?
And you fucking the bag up.
You fucking the bag. You still got to pay rent.
Yep.
Still got to pay health insurance if you got that. Most niggas don't even got health insurance. So it's like there's so many things that they're not even
Facts.
thinking about.
Yeah.
Like that 150K is 40,000 before you know it. And 40,000, bro, you might as well go work at Target, bro.
Facts.
You make 80 grand at Target.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to stunt.
Ain't got to stunt. Go live a regular 9-to-5 life.
So what was your pivot once you got into the offices? Because now you dealing with publishing.
So
now
I
you
just went to the
managing
offices
producers.
2 years ago. My first, kinda. I went to the office 100% 2 years ago.
Yeah, because I still feel like if you managing producers, you in a different part of the building
Yeah.
than when you manage an artist.
Yeah, so I think the reality is like going into the office is like I went to the office to learn what the other side of the table looks like. Because I've been on both, like I was on the other side of the table of being a person going there and knowing what I want to negotiate and what I want, but not understanding why they're giving it to me and how it looks and giving it to me.
And
So
what they're
now-
basing it off.
Yeah, so like now being on the other side and being able to see the breakdown of what it looks like of this is how much the artist is worth, or being able to do a projection report and seeing like, okay, this is what you're generating, this is your projections for the next 5 years, this is what your this is actually what your masters are worth, this is what this licensing is worth. Like I was able to see it from the other side. So like going into the office gave me that perspective. And then also like I realized too, like I've negotiated all types of deals, whether it's publishing, JV deal,
Joint venture.
just joint ventures, regular label deal, original label deal, like
distro.
I've negotiated all those types of deals. But in negotiating those, I want to understand the corporate language in negotiating those. So the best way you can learn is being by the person who's doing it. So like that was my thought process going into a side of a building, just to see that side, to understand like, oh, this shit is okay.
So you went to college.
Yeah, I went to college. And got paid.
Facts.
So it's
Presidential scholarship.
yeah, exactly. So it feels a lot better. It's a lot better. Lot better understanding. And then like I chose the right company to go in the building with. So like that shit makes a huge difference too. Like I don't work on projects that I don't want to work on. I don't sign any artists that I don't like or I don't see potential in. I get to do a lot of dope shit, like just create a lot of and just keep creating and pushing shit forward.
Should artists look for a manager or should managers look for artists?
It depends, right? Because managers look for artists, or artists look for managers. Artists that look for managers generally don't have
Anything to manage?
Nothing to manage.
not even that. Because even if they do have something to manage, if you're a really dope artist that's actually has some success behind you, but you don't have a manager, sometimes it's a red flag. It's like, why the fuck are you not manageable? Like, where are you like hard headed? Do you not listen? Like,
Are you lazy?
Are you lazy? Are you just a shitty person?
Are you open-minded?
Yeah, so that's sometimes, mind you, sometimes they might just came out of a bad situation and you just need somebody with more guidance.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have managers that look for artists. That situation a little bit better. In my opinion, it's a little bit better because you go and you find something that you can actually develop. So, and now you're not just a manager, you're more so like we talked about earlier, Mac. Now you're a partner with that person. Like you can build a production company, you can build an actual business around that person. And that's how you build stars. Like I personally haven't seen somebody that was already a superstar be like, oh, I need a manager, and go find a manager. Unless it was just like they had a falling out with their manager.
And then they normally just go to legal.
Yeah, but
Like,
then they just go
keep a lawyer.
they go to one of the big companies. They go to one of the big management companies, and they have a group of managers. They don't have one; they have a group. So it's like, I think like it can work either way, but it's a different. Both of them are two different grinds that you about to go through.
Yeah.
Because if an artist comes and finds you, then hopefully they're successful. Hopefully they have some shit going on. I think most of the time too, some of these young managers don't understand how to take the assets that they're given and turn it into a bigger asset. Like, so they'll get an artist and be like, all right, cool, and don't understand, like, you have to really have a bird's eye view of what the business, how you can make money in this business to be successful. Because there's so many ways to make money.
Right.
Like, you can have an artist that's like, they have a really dope catalog and they're not doing shit with their catalog. Well, you can go sign a distro deal and redistribute your catalog and make money on the back catalog. But if you don't know that, then you're not gonna do it.
Right.
I always say artists don't know how to steal second base. They're in their first base is getting somewhat of a buzz or getting the attention of either fans or a company, right? Most artists get to first base and they have no idea how to get to second base because they don't go into business mode. Because once you get on base, now everything is about how much, I use sports analogy. Everything is about how the pitcher moves, how this moves. You got to analyze from the time you get on first base. Before you get on first base, all you're trying to do is get a hit, right?
Yeah.
A hit in whatever that is, whether that's content, you're trying to get a hit, you're trying to get viral, you're trying to get some traction. Second base is like, okay, why am I putting out this next thing or why am I making this next thing? Who are the right people? Who my target? I asked a group of artists maybe a month ago. I said, who's your audience? People my age. I say, that's half of the country. What kind of people your age? What is going to make you?
So this goes back to that first conversation. How old are you?
35.
35. Are these new artists?
Within 5 years.
They're 30.
No, I'm saying they've been artists for at least 5 years.
So this is a hot take, and a lot of people are gonna hate me. But I told my boy Steve-O that if I had the opportunity to talk about it, I would.
Shout out to Steve-O.
Let's go.
That's my guy too.
I think that a rapper, if you haven't had a break by 30, give this shit up, bro.
I agree.
If you haven't had it, like, and the reason being, like, it's no disrespect. It's not saying like give up on your dream.
It's a young man's game.
Nah, it's not. It's a young man's game, but you also got to think about the reality of the situation. And I'm gonna be a nigga that's gonna put it in perspective for you, right? So you're 30 years old. You haven't had a hit. You barely got streaming, right? So a couple years back, like 2 years ago, Spotify quantified a professional artist as having 10,000 streams, right? So let's say you're 30 years old and you have 1,000 monthly listeners or 10,000 monthly listeners is considered a professional artist, right? That was their quantification of professional artists.
You in the league.
Yeah. So let's say you're 30 years old and you have 1,500 monthly listeners. Not bad. Not bad. Not great. You have nothing.
Nah, that shit bad.
So, but this is my point, all right? So, who's your demographic? You're 30 years old. So most of your content, your content that you're talking about is geared towards somebody who's my age, 30, 35. That's your demographic, right? What, you have kids?
I do.
Okay, I got kids. You got a girl?
Yep.
So the time that you're spending, like, this is what they understanding. If I'm your target demographic, do you think I'm going to spend my weekend time to come see your fucking show about content that you're talking about some shit where you're still trying to figure this life shit out the same way I'm figuring life shit out, but I have a child? You think I'm going to come hear you and see your shit? No. You don't have content that is going to appeal to me. Your content is not going to appeal to an 18-year-old because you're talking something that, like, the 18-year-old hasn't lived the same life you live. You have 12 years on him.
Or you trying to fake and give them content for their age and it don't connect.
It doesn't correlate because now you look like the cool uncle at the party.
Yeah.
You're the cool uncle, but everybody has a
But
cool
nobody
uncle.
want to go nowhere with you.
Yeah, like, you the cool uncle, but the reality is that cool uncle, most of the time, they still live with their parent.
Yeah.
That cool uncle lives with your grandma. And you like, bro, he cool as hell. But goddamn, bro, you still live with grandma. You live with auntie, bro. So it's like,
I used to be. Nobody cares.
Yeah, like he still want to talk about high school shit. He want to talk about his high school sports and shit like
highlights and shit. Like,
yeah, you like, bro, you're 50, my boy. It's time to let this shit rock.
Yeah.
So the reality is, like, for an artist, like, I hate to say it that way, but it's like, bro, it's time to get it. That's when it's like,
That's
delusion and dream is two different things. It's like,
That's
okay,
real.
you now have a chance now to be like, you still have another 40 years, give or take, on this earth to do whatever you want. Bro, this is not a Colonel Sanders story. You're not gonna get famous at 55. You're not gonna get a viral moment.
Yeah.
Like, because
That's a needle in the haystack.
yeah, because even if you do get a record, you still gotta go promote the record.
Yeah.
You still have to build a target audience to sell that record to. Bro, you're 30, bro.
And any company you go to,
you're doing,
whether they say it to you, they're gonna have this same conversation and how, like, why the fuck would
but
we
deeper
put
than
this
that,
money?
deeper than that, your shows are at places like the fucking
hole in the wall type
Not
shit.
even that. You're doing vinyl with the tables and candlelight, my boy. It's 100 people in this bitch.
Yeah.
So is
Soulful.
the apple, is it worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, like the reality is like, bro, you gave it a valiant effort. Go find your young nigga and pipe him up.
Yeah.
Write those same lyrics
Yeah.
you're gonna get for yourself. Write them for a younger nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
Or go in and make a pivot. Like
Yeah.
like it's nothing wrong with pivoting. But I think
Yeah.
the problem is
You
like
want to be more
everybody
famous than rich.
no, everybody has this delusion that I can do it. I have a chance. Virality, I can do it. And it's like, bro, like you can. But the reality of you happening, bro, you might as well go take your next paycheck from that job that you still got to work because you got to pay your rent. Take your next paycheck and go buy 1,000 lottery tickets. You got a better chance of winning $1 million on that scratch off than you got to be a famous rapper.
Yeah. Ray Daniel said something crazy, man, recently. He was like, I don't want to be right. I just want to get richer. Like, I ain't got to be the one that got the right answer all the time. I don't.
Absolutely.
Like, but whatever's going to get us towards that goal, let's do that. Like,
Absolutely.
let's get outside of our egos. Like, how can artists or how can the new artists that we have seen, like, how can they, like, get outside of their own ego?
We can't until you put down, like, first of all, you can't be, it's such an oxymoron because you can't be successful without social media. But social media is also the enabler of you being successful.
Right.
Because, or it's the inhabitant of
Enable of you being a failure.
Yeah, like most people, you're so caught up in worrying about what other people are doing that you can't even pay attention to yourself.
What
so,
you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, so your ego, you're like, I gotta do better than that person. I gotta do better than that. And as an artist, like, first of all, why do you think they put horse blinders on a horse in a race? It's like, my nigga, run a straight line. Just go.
I told somebody, I manage Kentrell still. I'm probably always gonna manage Kentrell because we just childhood, like we've been doing this before we was doing this, right? But people ask me like, what, would you manage me, or can you manage me, or would you manage this person? I always say, I don't know. I'm gonna have to be inspired to even think about management, but I do know if I sign an artist today, you got to be willing to give me your social media and you have no access to it until your project is done. And people are like, well, why you want to do that? I say, because every time you get 1,000 likes from whatever else we doing to help market you, that your record gets either not finished another day, or it gets worse because you're getting the gratification that comes from the win without the win.
Yeah, I think another thing too that happens with artists, and this is why you have certain artists that have used social media to their advantage and have become really successful, right? You got likes of like Cardi B, right? Cardi B made you feel like you were her friend on social media earlier. Like she be on live talking about whatever.
Funny shit. Yeah.
But that's the real.
Yeah.
You know the biggest thing I hate with artists, especially new artists, the only time you see them on social media is when they promote something to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, it's like, damn, all you think of me is I'm a trick.
Yeah.
I'm a trick. The only time you show up is when you
Nate, I'm in a bind.
Yeah, Nate, I'm in a bind. You literally think I'm Nate and you in a bind.
Yeah.
But it's like that's not how like when you build a fan base, like social media is supposed to be used as a tool of you. Why Facebook became popular, like you want to talk to your friends, you want to do like you do know the gratification you got when you see somebody from high school that you ain't seen in 12 years. You like, oh shit, I remember we had math class together, and you just connect. Oh, he got a family now. That's dope.
Right.
But I got to like now. I feel like there's a different human connection.
And
I have no human connection when you a product, when you marketing a product.
The best thing about Twitter was everybody was having regular conversation.
Regular conversation.
Like you can talk to KD about. We had a Jordan conversation. Like you could talk about anything that was regular, so you felt like you knew all these in the golden age before cancel culture and all of that. But that's what essentially what an artist has to try to recreate Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's hard for some people to do because one thing about being an artist is you can be good at music. If you're not good at people, you're going to struggle.
I mean, it's not, but see, this is the thing. It's not about being good at people. It's about being a good, decent person.
Yeah.
Like, if you can be a friend, like, that's why, like, before I even sign an artist, I got to go hang out with you. Before I even work with anybody, I'm going to go hang out with you. If I can't go hang out and just have a drink of beer with you, we don't talk about work, we just talk about life and just have a good time, then we can work.
Yeah.
But if not, like, we can't even have those simple conversations. Like, bro, you're not a person.
Yeah,
you're a robot. And if you want to be a robot, you can be Drake. But that's fine. You want to be Drake. But even then, Drake still shows you he has fucking friends.
Right.
Yeah.
He still shows you the whole OVO that are his friends.
And every girl that hurt his feelings, he tell you everything about him.
So you have to have a human side, a human element to you.
First.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta
like
be vulnerable first.
when you lose that moment, that's when you're no
I
longer
tweeted
artist.
that the other day. I said, don't forget to be human.
Yeah.
That's real.
And that wasn't geared towards like artists or whatever. It was just geared towards people because you really watching culture as a large majority just become algorithms. They all robots.
People are like, oh, my best time to post it at 10 o'clock. I don't give a damn if I got a cool picture that
It's
just
out.
took. I'm posting it. I'm gonna post it because
It's
it's
out.
cool. I just did something with my daughter. I'm posting on my story. I don't give a damn. It's cool.
Who's the artist right now that you're excited about?
Like, so what genre? Or
That you're working with?
SARS, hands down.
Why?
Because Afrobeat, like, for me, like, music, like, especially rap, like, I started becoming tone deaf to it.
You aged out?
Not even that I aged out, because I love Lil Tyler. Lil Tyler, like, if I had a chance to sign Lil Tyler, I would have did it in a heartbeat. I love that little.
We was just looking at his shit.
Lil Tyler's cold. Like his his flow, he rap like he rap like a young rich nigga. Like he talk like, yeah, man. Like, boy, why you doing broke shit? Come on, bro. Like, do some shit. Like, pop up your life, son. Like,
see that
I'm a
energy
player,
that
not a
you
simp,
just
man.
had.
You know what I'm saying?
The energy you just had. If I don't get that,
but that's the problem. So right
Yeah.
now you talk about these newer artists, like everything started sounding the same, and then you got people talking about researching. Bro, that research, I haven't seen a star made out of research.
Right.
No stars are made out of research. Like, you sign stuff to keep lights on from research. So it's like, the reason I'm excited about people like stars, like Afrobeats in itself, I feel like we're in the space with Afrobeats where it was like hip hop in 2010, the blog era, where it's like you're discovering stuff that you're like, that shit is crazy. Like, if you like Burner Last, I can play 100 other songs. You like, oh my God. Like DJ Uncle Waffles is not the only DJ.
and the art of discovery.
Yeah, like it's real discovery happening because it's like it's a sound that's fresh. It feels like I can dance to it. My lady going to have a good time doing it. Like it's feel good music, and we're getting back to that place where it's. I think it's funny because I was watching an interview with Prince, and he was talking about sampling. He's like, it's gonna get so bad to where people are gonna sample the sample. And I feel like in music now we're getting to that place where people are really sampling.
Literally.
You like, bro, like I was at the A&R call. It's so funny, and they were asking what the sample was, and I was like, y'all serious? Nobody knows the sample, and there's only a few of us on the call that actually knew what song it was, and we were like, bro, that's a really popular song from the '80s. Nobody knew what that was.
And they were naming some shit probably.
Yeah, they were naming some shit from 2000. Like, bro, y'all, like this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the reality we live in.
Yeah.
That's the reality we live. So it's like with Afrobeats, I feel like it's that space now where it's something.
Damn, that shit.
I'm
just
hearing
happened
newer
to me.
sounds where it's making me feel like, damn, like music is fun again. Like I can enjoy this.
That just happened, right? Fish. Who got that song? The Beyonce song. Somebody just sampled Emotionless by Destiny Child.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it on. Fish is.
The Playboy Cardi, A$AP Rocky song.
Oh, yeah.
I turned it on. Like, he turned it on. I'm like, Fish, what you know about Destiny Child? Fish, 24. Just turned 25. I'm like, he like, the fuck are you talking
He
about?
ain't grew up with Destiny Child, so.
He like, let's play with Cardi. I was like,
But that's the reality we live in though. Like the kids, like these kids don't and it's so funny because I was on Twitter. Twitter is the funniest place in the world. People are like,
Twitter by far the best platform.
these
I don't
kids,
care what nobody say.
bro, somebody said, these kids ain't sampling old music because their parents wasn't cleaning up. And you like, bro, think about that though.
That's real.
Think about that. I learned all my music taste really started when that Saturday morning, you know, you want to get up and watch cartoons. Your mom like, hell no.
Bro, we all live the same life,
Hit
bro.
that stereo, and you about to get up and clean.
Matter of
And
fact, we used to get waking up by the music.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
like, I know the music and the smell
Yeah.
before I even wake up.
It's
Pine
Pine
Sol.
Sol.
We got that black
And
song.
then I remember like early in blog era, it was certain blogs that like dedicated to the breaks.
Yep.
Well, all like it was what you just did on that phone call. That used to be like an everyday occurrence with the friends. Like, you don't know this sample? Like, we was compete with who knew the sample early, and that's why I love like go back to blog era. Soul tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, phew.
When Fab used to drop the soul tape, like
Man.
this nigga got a Marvin Gaye sample. This nigga got this. It never would have got cleared. I hope the Marvin Gaye family don't come after you because of this. My bad, Fab. But
that shit is the sampling. Like, it's not hard to get shit cleared now. It's just what's crazy is like it's so funny now when you try to get stuff cleared because they'll go to like the person who doesn't even own it. They'll go to the person who sampled it the second time, and that person is like they'll try to give you a clearance rate, and you like, bro, you lost your fucking. You don't even own the fucking estate to this. So you go to get clearance, and now shit they'll say we want 50%, we want 70%, and you ain't got no choice but to give it to them. You sample.
Marvin Gaye family want 100.
Depends.
They don't play.
It depends. It
Well,
depends.
if they catch you trying to slip by the sample,
It depends if they like it
come
or not too. Like I know it's like certain states they have to approve. Like every state has to approve
Has
the
to
sample,
approve.
but certain people will only approve samples from certain people. Like they're like, I forgot what artist it was, but they're like, no cursing in my like if you sample my stuff, don't curse in it.
I know I can't think of it. It was a white artist though. But it
Yeah,
was
like you
a big
sample,
guy.
don't curse.
We were talking to Music Soul Child. We had Music Soul Child on here, and I was asking him about that, about how did he go about his process of what he clear and what he don't. And he was like, he'll clear anything that's not detrimental,
Facts.
Oh, absolutely. Like somebody.
even if he don't like the song.
Imagine somebody taking a Music Soul Child record and just being like, I'm out of time. Like, like that'd be insane.
Yep.
That'd be insane. So like, it's like, no, I get it. Like you still want to protect your legacy. You still want to make sure like they're recreating your art.
Yeah.
So
And you don't want to get canceled because somebody sampled your record and said some wild
yeah,
shit.
like
Yeah.
they be like, their first voice they hear is your record, your name. And they be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what's name record. Like hell no, bro, it's a sample, bro.
Right.
What was, and I like asking, see, A&Rs to me are the secret sauce that's like fading away. What is like your dream team from producer, songwriter to maybe even artist? I don't really like artists because I have like these, like I want a Salam Remy collaboration with Rico Love. I'm a music guy, so I want to kind of get into the music now.
I mean,
And I just saw that everybody was doing their top 4 producers on Twitter maybe yesterday, day before yesterday. That's tough.
yeah, that is tough. I mean, I would want to sit in. There would be only one session that I really wanted to see like in action. That's James Brown. I want to see James Brown like really like lock in because James Brown, like I sat there and listened to, I forgot what song I was listening to, but this man like he hooked and stepped on it 3-4 times, told him pick that up, do that, and I was like, this shit is incredible. Like this, he's hearing all this stuff and staying on beat. First of all,
And drunk.
and drunk. You do all this staying on beat and making like doing like just this incredible. Also, Rick James. I love Rick James. So like,
You got a style.
huh?
You got a style.
Yeah, I got a style. I think
You
so.
got an air, I think.
There's a story.
Yeah.
There's a story that I'm like, bro, I gotta see this. I want to know the depths of this. You know how Eddie Murphy made a record, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Him and Rick James got snowed in, and
That's how they made it?
that's how they made that record. Party All the Time was because they got snowed in and they made it in a week's time. And it became a platinum selling record.
Hey, can you, outside of that,
Imagine what that week
can
looked
you
like.
imagine them niggas being
That
locked
week
in
was
for a week?
insane.
Do you know how much cocaine they got
No.
done snorting?
You heard he was
Yeah.
party all the
Yeah.
time,
Bro.
party all the time.
He was
And who else was there?
I want to know. I would like to sit there. If I had 5 minutes
world
Eddie
may
Murphy,
never
I would be
know.
like, that would be the question. Like, bro, please explain that weekend for me. I just want to know. Just give me the wildest thing that happened that weekend, and just tell me like, if you can relive that weekend, would you? I guarantee you.
And let me relive it with you.
Let me relive it with you.
Speaking of, you got stories. Shout out to the producers with the production notes. Heard you got a crazy Andre 3000 story.
You talking about we played?
Legend has it you have a crazy
So
Andre 3000.
that's when. So I actually had it wrong. So initially I said it was the Outkast reunion, but it wasn't Outkast reunion. It was when Future did Dirty Sprite. He had the Dirty Sprite show at the Tabernacle,
Mhm.
and
This when they was on tour.
No. This is when Dirty Sprite first dropped.
No, I'm talking about, ain't that the same year Outkast went on tour?
Yeah, so they were about to start the tour after it. So
Boy.
Dirty Sprite happened first, and then the Outkast reunion
Man,
happened
shout
after.
out Dirty Sprite 1, boy.
Man, that shit was.
dog.
That was a great time to be alive. That's when
Man.
music felt good. That shit was
Music was
That's
great.
when it felt. You
was-
could feel it.
That was. I just hit your bitch with some Gucci flip flops.
Bro.
Gucci flip flops went out. They sold out.
Future was on the run, boy.
You couldn't get it. You couldn't order a pair of Gucci flip flops.
I got some
No.
Dirty Sprite 2 stories, but
Dog.
Nah, so we had one of my the artists I was working with. His uncle was part of Dungeon Family. So we went to the.
you're not gonna ever give us names.
I mean, I could, but
You never give us names. That's crazy.
Nah,
Go
so
ahead.
like we went to the Dirty Sprite show at Tabernacle. Great fucking time. Backstage hanging out and shit. They were like, "Yo, let's go to y'all niggas trying to go out after this." And at the time, I think that was
15.
15. So I had just dropped out of school. I was out of school. I had no responsibilities. Actually, let's do it.
Nigga, we with
broke
it.
I think I was broke too. I was like, let's do it. I don't give a fuck. It's all, they was like, it's all us. We cool.
I get to get in.
Yeah.
Hey.
So we went to Allure. What I forgot what the club used to be called. It used to be called Tees.
Tease. Yep.
They change every 3 years.
So it was Tees.
Allure ain't going nowhere. Shout out to my
That
dog.
show was on a Monday. They used to have stripper boxing. Mondays at Tees. Stripper boxing used to be hood as fuck. Like, first of all, they used to. I forgot the nigga.
They had a minute though?
I missed that one.
They had a minute?
They used to have a ring set up in the middle. That's when before Allure was Allure. Now they used to have a ring set up in this shit.
I missed that
So
one.
they had a ring set up. So it was me, Gip, 3 Stacks,
Ooh.
Future, Killer B.
God damn, y'all deep in that.
We was deep as hell. We
It's
had,
Dungeon Family.
we had a whole section. Like, this is before like Allure, where you first where the door is now. There used to be a big ass section over there. So we had a big ass section. There was a ring, like a fucking industrial sized ring in this bitch, and it was strippers in there getting to it. I'm talking about they used to have they had the headgear on, raps,
what?
Bring that back.
and they were
what?
getting to it. They were rocking each other. So we went there,
Bro.
and 3 Stacks is throwing money on the strippers while they fighting. Like we throwing bread, like having the time of my fucking life. But yeah, that was a great night. That was a
Man,
great.
I'm a little
fucking night.
jealous.
That was a great night.
It seemed like a great fucking night, man.
I just found a picture like maybe a few weeks back because I had to find it for somebody. I found the picture. That shit was a great night.
Wow.
Well, you know, I'm gonna stay in that vein. Oh, go ahead.
What year was that?
That had to be 20. I think it was 2015.
2015.
That was Dirty Sprite. Whatever year.
Yeah.
Whenever he did a Dirty Sprite Tabernacle show, we went after the Tabernacle show.
Dirty Sprite.
Yeah, that's
bro.
2015.
2015. Okay,
2015. Trust me, cause
cool. A lot happened in 2015.
Hey,
Shout
man.
out Cody.
So that was a lot 2015.
Yeah.
and that's the year I met Hoban.
Wow.
And bro, Dirty Sprite 2 drop. I might get in trouble for this. Dirty,
Speak your mind, bro.
Dirty Sprite 2 drop, bro. I was dating this girl. It's my first year with money.
I knew it was coming.
Like, it's my first.
I know what the first year with money
real
feel
year
like.
with,
Yeah,
like,
the first real year with money always feel it's crazy.
Look, dog. I let my little brother move in. My brother used to call me Rick Ross because I used to come in the house with like 5 stacks on the dresser, just taking it out my pocket, just walk around with $5,000 just because I could. Stupid shit, right?
First year with money sounds. Yeah.
Dirty Sprite drop, talking to this chick, bro. I never forget. Dirty Sprite drop. We left. I lived in Atlanta Station, right in front of Target. We went to Wingstop on North and Piedmont.
Yeah.
It's a liquor store over there. We got a bottle of Hennessy and some Wingstop. Ride around, listen to Dirty Sprite 2. Rich Sex come on. We go to a parking garage.
You a wild
This
boy.
nigga.
You a wild boy.
Then the police came. While we outside the car by this time, like we standing up outside the car. Police came. Both of us hopped back in the car. We speed off on the police, hit 2 corners, go to another parking garage, got away. That's my future story. It was a great day.
You a wild boy.
Hey, bro, it was a Dirty Sprite too. Bro, I probably had money 10 minutes. Like,
I think everybody's first year of money. You always like. I remember when I found out $10,000 wasn't a lot of money. When I found out $20,000 wasn't a lot of money, I was like, damn, man,
Yeah.
found out
This ain't
100,000
shit.
was a lot of money.
this ain't shit. 40,000, you walking money down.
Hey man, Emil go quick.
Hey, dog, and
He go quick.
and then even more so in this business.
yeah. He
Nigga,
go quick.
that's 50,000 is a
You buy a
decent
couple
video.
plates, shit. 50,000 is a few flights.
Bro, not
you fly from here to LA 4 times.
It's gone.
Now I think about it.
Pay your rent.
We probably seen a few million in budget since COVID. Like not since I've been
What you mean?
shooting.
Probably.
Since COVID, bro. Like,
Definitely.
yeah. Like it's crazy.
Y'all run all up. Never mind. But
Man.
what excites outside of Afrobeat? What excites you about your job more so now? Like, what would you change? What keeps you going?
I think I have free range to create, and having free range, like I control my time, and I also control like my creativity. Like I don't have to. I'm not boxed into whatever. Like I don't at a label. I'll be like, they'll be like, this is your roster, deal with it. Well, I'm at a label. They didn't say this is your roster, deal with it. They're like, sign whatever you want. Build it out. Let's build the shit from the ground up. So it's like that whole idea, that art of actually developing is not lost.
Mhm.
So like I thoroughly enjoy that, and I get to have fun with it. Like I said, like at one point, like it was becoming music wasn't fun anymore. Like it wasn't like it was either too hood or too corporate. There was no in between. And like that having no in between would leave you mad. Like it was a point in time where I got banned from going to Interscope for arguing because they wouldn't pay me my artist. They wouldn't pay my producer. So it's like I don't like them doing that. I like doing like, okay, this is when we getting paid. We've done clean legit business. We done. Whereas in any industry you go to in this world, any other business is like clean legit business. But the music business happened to be the one that's like,
It's
I'm
my
gonna take
business.
advantage of you niggas.
It's my business. I'm gonna see who's scared.
Yeah, it's like try me.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to try me? Try me.
Right.
And it's like I pay you when I feel like it. The fuck you mean you gonna pay me when you feel like it? You owe me now. Pay me.
Yeah. Right.
Bro, and I be trying, like, I'm sure you went through it. We go through it all the time. In this business, you get so many of your family members, your younger friends, your younger cousins, and they want to be in this business. And in the beginning, I think me and Caleb both tried to protect a lot of people.
Facts.
Like, you bring people in, budgets might not be right, you paying them out of pocket. Or net 30 turning to net 90, you paying them out of pocket.
Every time.
But it gives them a false understanding of what this game is.
Yeah, bro.
This game is, hey, dog, we gonna get to you when we get to you, especially if we got our product already.
Yeah.
And we had to stop doing that because it's like, no, you need to see what it feels like when that net 30 turns to net 90.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man.
I mean, I think I was talking about the two of my family for coming to this, when they want to come in as artists. Cause like, I don't try to be an asshole, but like I said, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And I hate, like, just because you my cousin, it's like, I'm not gonna tell you your rapping is good. I got a little cousin now, bless his soul. Like, I be telling him, I told my uncle, I said, bro, this shit is terrible. Tell him to go get a job. Call me, I'll be his mentor, but he gotta go get a job. Like, I'm not supporting his rap career because it just doesn't make sense. Like, bro, like, you have a wild ass lisp. You have like dead ass serious. Like, I'm not even being funny, bro. Like,
People get so offended, honestly.
nah, bro. That's the sad part though. Like,
They get
honestly,
so offended.
when you have somebody that gives you the real, it's like,
They love you, bro.
Yeah, like-
they respect you enough to tell you what it is, to prevent you from dealing with some shit that you don't need to deal with.
bro, this little dude got the wildest lisp in the world. Like, I'm talking about his S's roll crazy. I said, bro, like, you like, it don't work for you, bro.
It's
Like,
over.
yeah, being a rapper, this might not be it, bro.
Oh,
like,
man, you hating.
yeah, it's
Like, what you
come
mean?
On, he's like, come on, phone me, big cuz. Come on, twin. That
I'm
new
fucking
twin
with you.
shit.
I'm
that
telling
new
you what
twin
it
shit.
is.
I'm like, bro, look, listen, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, and I tell all my family this too. Like, I'm like, bro, this is not a hobby for me. This is my
Yeah,
career.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't have like, yeah. Now that I'm in a building, I have money. I can put money into a 401k. But the reality is like, are you really? Is music my retirement plan?
You never got enough.
Yeah. So it's like, am I willing to? Oh, I hate this one, bro. They call you out of the blue. Hey, bro, give me a reference, bro. Nigga, I haven't talked to you in 4 years. I don't know what your character
a
is.
decade.
You think I'm about to stand on business on you with you?
Bro,
Come on, bro.
I got high school classmates that be like, hey, you for me for this?
No.
What?
Bro, and it be sad because you be trying to tell him like, nah, I'm not trying to hate, but I'm like, bro, like I've been doing this since 2010. I built a 13-year reputation. Like,
Yeah.
I've literally like I know people because I've moved around, I've done the work, and like my work speaks for
I'm
itself.
not just giving that.
I'm not about to fuck up my name just
But
because
even then,
you
if I
need
give you a look, my thing is if your work ethic not like my work ethic, or if you're not as sturdy as me, like bro,
if you're
like,
not as crazy as me.
yeah, it's like dog, like now I gotta beat your ass, and now I gotta explain to grandma why I just whooped your ass, or I gotta explain to your auntie, my auntie why I just beat the dog shit out of you.
Or now I gotta whoop
Because
your
you
daddy ass.
just made me look like a plum fool in the fucking office, and I gave you a look.
Right.
Like I have cousins that reached out to me about trying to get tickets to shows all the time, and they were like, "Hey, they sprinkle, hey, cuz if you can, do it VIP too." Nigga, you think I'm about to send you backstage with this man that you have that first of all, you my cousin, but I
Like,
don't
do you
hang-
even realize what you asking for?
No, hold on. You my cousin. But you be hanging out with the hot boys. I know y'all be robbing niggas and doing all wild shit. So what happened? What's there to tell me that you're not gonna be back there and see something that's a lick and do some wild shit? Now I don't use my name to get you back there. They like, who is this nigga with? And the only person that can reference is JuJu. So now JuJu gets referenced. I ain't have shit to do with nothing, but now I gotta have beef with this nigga, but I also gotta beat your ass. Like now I got two. I'm out two.
And you ain't got what you stole no more.
I'm gonna tell you what would be the worst though. It's like when they come around and they like the fan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro.
I had to
like,
stop dating women because of that. Certain women.
man, bro. Like,
That shit is wicked. I had one girl that fanned out so crazy over Fab. You said Fab. She fanned out so crazy over Fab. I had to leave her at where we was at. I just left. So, bro, you got me fucked up, bro. You got me fucked up. This is not that. JuJu, this is not that.
He said I'm out.
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't fuck with your basketball tape, but other than that, you my nigga. My niggas, I had to leave it.
No, straight up, like we were at a.
What happened, bro?
Bro, we were at a fucking. It was a summer league charity game, bro. A summer league like charity event, bro.
You left a bitch
Fab
at a
was in Atlanta.
charity.
Fab was in Atlanta, and I was playing in the fucking game, the game, bro. She was like, oh my gosh, it's Fab. I said, the fuck? I said, Fab. I'm thinking she seen Obama or something walk through the door. Like, she said, it's Fab. Oh my gosh. I said,
Talk about sport?
I said, yeah.
Like, this
I
nigga
said,
I'm gonna work with. Like,
bro,
why you tripping?
I went and got my goddamn bag out the locker room. I went and got my bag out the locker room. Went and got me some slushy and some shit and went like mind my business the rest of the day. She was like, why you dub me? Bitch, you cheered about Fab. Like, come on, bro. Like no shade to Fab, but come on, you fanning.
I dubbed you because you a dub.
You fanning.
Hey, dog.
Anyway.
Hey, dog.
So imagine if I'd have been around Jay-Z or Beyonce.
It's over with.
And you did that around Fab? I gotta get a restraining order on you.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you're going to fuck up the look in front of Jay-Z.
Now you
before
gonna
I
be
can
like,
even do anything with Jay-Z, he going to be like, you remember you brought Shorty around?
Now you a representation of my decision making.
Yeah.
now it's like, bro, you hang out with fans all day?
Now my sister got to beat you up.
Yeah, like, so I had to dub her. And she was a solid ass girl. She was cool as hell.
Be
Last question, bro.
All right, cool.
From everything you've seen, everything you've done, and with you still being here, that means you feel obligated to yourself or to the game. What's something you want to change going forward about the game?
I mean, I'm working on my retirement right now. I'm working on my retirement.
I need investors.
We'll get to that.
All right, cool.
We'll get to that.
It's
But
on camera.
I
I like being in the first round.
want to change. Like, I feel like I've just seen business. I've seen the music business on an international level at this point, and like seeing it from an international level, I've seen it like, especially being like even in Lagos, like in the heart of Afrobeats, the business is wide open. So understanding that, seeing that business from the beginning, like the music business in America is set, music business in UK set. Like that's BMI ASCAP been around since 1800s.
They got their mobs already.
That shit is set.
Yep.
But when you think about the global scale and how music commerce moves around, this is the first time that like a country like Lagos has identified entertainment as a part of their GDP, like actually having a real impact on their GDP. So it's like, in seeing that, I'm seeing business on a grander scale. So like, for me, it's like taking that next step and really bridging the gap and making it so it's like the money's easier to get, the connections are easier to be had, the travel is easier. Like shit, it's even like there's artists that you'd be surprised they couldn't come to the States because they don't have a visa. You gotta have America's laws for immigration are just insane. So you would have artists like Tim that had the #1 record in the world who she couldn't even come back for certain award shows because she didn't have a visa. That's insane. How can we play her music but we can't have her here?
Right. Yeah, I did some stuff with the Headies,
Mhm.
and it was like the list. So you know, when you do award shows, they have their target list.
Yep.
And then they have like they early commits, and then you got normally the heavy hitters are late commits. Dog, it was half of they late heavy hitters couldn't come just because they couldn't get in.
Yeah, because our immigration is insane. So it's like I think now going into the spaces I see, and especially like now I'm not going to the club. I'm not going to hang out in the studio with the artists. Like I think that's older JuJu. That was younger JuJu. So I think older JuJu is in the space now. Is like, how do I help on a political side of this music business where I actually have skin in the game from the culture. I have skin in the game from working with certain types of artists and certain types of producers where I can go now and be a liaison to help bridge those gaps. Like I can help a person like Tim, like, okay, we can set a grant program where your visas are granted in a matter of a week instead of it being 4 or 5 weeks. So like that's the space I'm moving into.
I think I work with 1RPM. They big in that.
Yeah, they have
They big
1RPM. So those, I'm not gonna get no more hot takes, but those companies are interested when it comes to the international ideas. And the reason I say that's like, before I signed anything in Nigeria, I had to get a lay of the land. I had to go there and actually feel the culture, feel like understand like that you're not just throwing money at the wall and hoping something happens. So like, and this is no shade to no company.
Or
but,
just exploiting it.
Yeah, but that's what happens with a lot of publishing and a lot of people that are going there and just signing or going anywhere internationally. Like, cause you got Brazil, you got fucking Chile, you got Argentina. All these places are hotspots because they're hotspots for Latin. Latinx is really big as well. So these are hot spots. But you have people that are going there just like, okay, here's $100,000, figure it out. Well, damn, you give me $100,000 and a naira is worth is $10,000 compared to $1. Like, I gave you all this money. No guidance. What the fuck do you get when you give your first time having money?
I'm wilding out.
Yeah, you wilding out with no guidance. So like not having no guidance, giving that much money is like that doesn't help you. So it's like we have emphasis on building infrastructure and building the infrastructure, the highways that you can actually go and know where to put that money or have the avenues to go and generate more revenue and actually build it. So the next. You can have 5 more Tims. You can have 5 more Wiz kids, 10 more Wiz kids. Like we're in that space of doing that. So it's like I said, no shade to other companies, but a lot of companies are like they feel like just putting money in there that helps. Yeah, like anybody getting money helps them for a short period of time. But money without education is like we know what financial literacy is. Like shit, I just learned financial literacy the last 3 years of my life. So imagine somebody who's never had $1.
Yeah. And they be like, you got to go green to go black. But if you don't know how to go, I can give you all the green in the world. You're gonna stay red.
And you're gonna stay red because it's like there's no like, it's crazy when you literally have kids that are like we did the SARS Academy, and like there was kids coming from villages. Like there was one kid who was making beats from his phone. Mind you, everybody has like similar to what like the Obama phones here were when people were getting free phones, but everybody had phones. everybody had phones, and they had this shit called Boom Play on the phones.
Yeah.
So Boom Play is basically like an Audio Mac, or like it's a distribution company, but it's the African distribution company. But he downloaded some type of program that he was making beats on. Like when I say it was like the wildest looking phone that you could like, it was like this shit was like
he shouldn't have been able to do shit.
Screen. It was a click, damn near the click touch screen. This motherfucker was making fire ass beats on it. So they bought him a computer and like his whole shit just changed. But I'm just saying like resources and programs like that are like we take that shit for granted. But that shit like you can change a whole village. Like you can literally go out there and create a whole music program that can change the village. And you find shit. We find the African Prince. We find the African James Brown. Like so it's like I'm in those spaces where now I'm trying to like. That's why I think it's refreshing for me. It's like the music feels better. For me right now, it makes me feel better. I think there's more opportunity, and it's like it just feels good. Like,
hey man, on camera you gotta say you gonna take me with you. I'm interested.
Pull up. We're
I'm dead serious.
going back. Pull up.
Because
You never been to Africa? You gotta go, bro.
All jokes aside, but we got into this. We got this studio. We got this space. We got everything we trying to do is, of course, we want to have fun. But I have a real care for art. I have a real care for our culture. I have a real care for our music. I have a real care for the business around it. Like, the first thing I ask anybody in this space is how much you need to do what you want to do.
True.
And not how much you need for your goal. How much you need on a monthly, annually, semi-annually, how much you need to be sustainable enough to be creative. And I think that's all about resources, education, and having the right people around. It's good people who know what they're doing, but they still might not be the right people. They might not care. They might not have the time, different things. So I like when somebody is trying to go impact on more than a level that's just not about the bottom line. So I really respect that. And,
I appreciate it.
You know, if I could find any kind of way, I'm getting like Sammy, if I could find any kind of way to learn from that and learn how to be a part of that, then I'm with it. And Caleb been trying to get me to go to Africa for 2 years.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
Bro.
My retirement, I'm setting that shit up to be in Africa, bro. Like that's one of the. There's no place like it, bro. There's literally no
I've
place.
never debated him, but I haven't been.
There is no place like, and it's like, there's just, and this is gonna sound cliche as hell, but there's this natural connection you feel when you get off a plane.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's like, I've been a lot of places in the world. Like when I say a lot, I've been a lot of places. But there's no feeling I've ever got like I got when I went to Africa. And the reason I say it is like literally, you go to all these tourist destinations. Like you go to Jamaica, you go to the plane going to Jamaica. You see everybody that don't look like you on the plane. You like, damn, my people couldn't afford to get on this flight.
Right.
You go to St. Bart's, my people couldn't afford to get on this flight. Bahamas, my people couldn't afford to get on this flight. You on the way to Africa, you on the way to Nigeria. Boy, you like, God damn, this nigga, this soul play, right?
It's soul play.
It's soul
All
play.
my people here.
But then when you land, it's like it doesn't change. It's still that. It's still, and it's like,
even down to the people working in the airport.
bro,
They Africans, bro.
Bro, they're all African. But even then, it's so much pride. It's so much pride in just of being and living. And my thing now is like, and that's my biggest frustration with artists is like, you don't have any pride in what you do. And I was always taught, like, especially from a young age, if you do something, have pride in doing it. Like, I'm not like anybody tell you, I hate losing.
Right.
So I'm prideful as hell. If I start losing, like I play golf now. If I'm losing, if I get my ass whooped, I'm salty as fuck for a second. I'm like, bro, I gotta pick this shit up, and I'm hard on myself because I have pride in that shit.
Even outside of pride, it's just having integrity in what you do.
Like that shit is real. Like you gotta stand on. Like if you gonna do something, do it. Like don't half-ass it. If you're gonna do it, why waste your time trying it? If you're not gonna do it, really go for and do it. So like when I went, it was like the first time there, I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like this shit. Okay. It was like me going to, when I chose to go to Morehouse, when I chose to go to AUC, I was like, all the other schools I went to,
it's a good
it
time.
was fire. It was not even that. Like, so, like, I joke about it, but seeing, like, when going to HBCU, but, like, literally, when I went to Morehouse, when I went to homecoming, I was like, bro, I've never seen this many black people just get along. Just get along and have a good time. This is like going to a family reunion, the greatest family reunion you ever had, plus the greatest cookout you ever had,
Right.
on top of a football game. So damn, all three of my shit checked off: family, football, and food. Let's this a party, goddamn. So now, like going to Africa, I was like, they got the food,
Yeah.
they got the family aspect, it got
Music.
music
Music replaced football.
bro. But even then, sports, like what's crazy is when we were there the first time, we were there during football season, and I'm a football fanatic. Bro, I didn't care about the fucking Sunday. Sunday came football. I didn't even set my fantasy leagues that week. I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm in the motherland, bro.
I'm loving this.
We having a good time. Like,
And I think that's one of the reasons I haven't been yet. I don't think I just want to go for vacation. Like I want to go do something, to be with people who have a plan when we get out there.
but you, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The reality is, yes and no, right?
Just go.
Just go. And the reason I just go, you're gonna find yourself like, we went with no intentions the first time. The first time was just to go and just get a lay of the land. Like I said, get a lay of the land. But I found myself at the largest art gallery in Nigeria, owned by a lady named Nike. And she has 3 daughters that have 3 other galleries across West Africa and South Africa. Fire. The gallery's like 6 stories high. And it's like literally she has from the oldest paintings in Africa to the newer like contemporary artists. Fire. Till we went and hung out with one of the guys. His dad is one of the largest farmers in Africa, so we seen that side. To going to hang out on the mainland, to going and seeing somebody. The wedding started at 11 o'clock, and you like, damn, 11 p.m. Oh, y'all just about to turn up, cool. To going to like seeing a Chinese African. To like you just see so many things. You're like, bro, this shit is crazy. Like it's just everything is mind boggling. To even from. It don't look like what you see on TV. Like it's not BET. It's not BET 4 a.m. This ain't no fly laying on your lip and shit. Like no, it's not that. This is like Lagos is like literally some of the 5 of the richest black people in the world live in Lagos.
Yeah.
Like when I say rich
world.
too, 5 richest black people in the world.
Yeah.
When I say rich, these motherfuckers have compounds. You think the compounds like the Met? When we put up out here, the compound looks like this, and this nigga crib. You like, God damn, what the fuck do you do? Oh, he created telecommunications here. Or he created the first, he's the reason we have Wi-Fi.
Like this nigga export oil.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
He owns that whole side of the river.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that.
That side of the river.
Yeah, like, but it's shit like that. But it's like, that only, like, you don't see Atlanta, outside of, like, going to Africa. And I tell people this all the time. I've been to every state in the United States. Been to damn near every major city. From touring, there's no other place you can go in the world
like Africa, bro.
that's like outside of going to Africa. There's no city that you can go to where black people like Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's why Atlanta's home for me. But the reality is it my eternal home? Probably not. Probably like all being like I ain't no hotel or nothing. I ain't no like I'm not like
But I'm going home.
I'm not like Dr. Umar. Oh, send these niggas back on the boat. No. But I understand like to that reference and that feeling that I got there. I want other people to feel that, and if I can raise my family and feeling that, absolutely, that's my shit.
Facts.
I'm with it. This has been a great interview. It's been a great time, and I'm amazed. We started a little rocky.
Hey man, it look like we're booking flights at the end though. So
Let's go. Fuck it.
Facts.
I'm going.
cool.
Tell them where they can find you, bro.
JuJu_Mclean. I think that's my Instagram. Yeah, that's my Instagram. I think that's my Twitter too. JuJu_Mclean.
Nigga went to Africa and forgot his @ name.
Bro, cause this social media shit, bro. This shit I ain't gonna lie. Like I told you, I use it because you have to use it.
It's a
to say-
tool. It
it's
ain't
a tool.
fun no more.
But it's not like that's not my life. Like my life, like you can find me on the golf course. You can find me hanging out with my family.
That's success. It's been another episode of Change Agents, dog. I'm Trav,
This is Caleb.
and we out. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you guys.